Survivor News.
Survivor News. Survivor News. Survivor News.
Survivor News.
Survivor News. Survivor News. Survivor News. Survivor News. Survivor News. Survivor News.
What is going on? A new season, a new era. I don't know if it's really a new era, but a new Survivor News. Your baby boys have reunited for Survivor News Draft 48. We gave you some postseason coverage of season 47. Now we're giving you some preseason coverage of season 48. Let's welcome back to the podcast Wendell, Holland, the host of ABC Extreme Home Makeover Home Edition. What's popping?
What's up? What's up? Good to be back with them baby boys. What's good?
Yeah, enough about Wendeezy. Let's get to the main attraction, okay? The Survivor know-it-all himself. He might have a particular type. He's an actor. He's a model. He could spit a little bit. You might know him from The Circle Season 2. Let's welcome back our resident baby boy, Jackery Atkins. What's popping?
Bryce, I think that's the nicest intro you've ever given. Season 48's off to a great start. I mean, it's good to be here.
Listen, we're recording at 2:00 Eastern Standard, and Jack is up. So listen, I'm excited.
Yeah, I got a nice iced coffee right here.
Oh, okay.
Homemade
Jackery with
Made
the
it myself.
caffeine.
Made it myself. You don't want to see me without my coffee.
Well, we are here for the Draft 48, but I mean, let's catch up. I mean, it's been a while since we did our simulation with Robert Sesternino. What's going on with the baby boys?
Jackery.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love that, people really seem to enjoy our off-season coverage with that simulation. Hopefully we'll be able to do some more of that. That's why we had to get into some of this preseason coverage. Is my internet okay?
Your internet is fine.
Okay, great. And then, yeah, I've just been, I shot that pilot, so that's been getting edited. So excited for that to come to see the light of day soon. And then I also just landed a new casting job. So, and shout out to Wendell. It's with the same company that cast Extreme Makeover Home Edition. So shout out to Mystic Art Pictures.
Yeah.
Giving your boy a 3-month job. I honestly still got to sign off on some paperwork before I can share, what it's all about. But it's going to be a new dating show and so I'm excited to get involved on the casting side. So hopefully, as time goes on, I can keep you guys posted. But yeah, excited to be doing some more casting, which I love, for the next few months. So
look at the evolution of Jackery Atkins. We met him first, a dirty, dusty college student in a hole of a room. Then he graduated. He moved to LA. He got on The Circle. He's doing acting, and now he had a gambling issue, but he's went to Gambling Anonymous, and now he has landed a full-time job. Look at Christine would be proud.
Yeah, full-time is a strong word, but for 3 months in my line of work, it's basically a lifetime. So, but dirty and dusty.
That room, Jack. Let's not.
You were never there.
Jack,
FaceTime didn't do it justice.
Yeah, you had a hole in the ceiling. But anyway, listen.
You got a hole in your ceiling too.
I don't have no hole in nobody's ceiling. What are you talking about?
FaceTime says differently.
Jack, the only one time I had a hole in my ceiling was when a water pipe bust. But
yeah,
ain't no.
Whoa. Are we still talking about
and it wasn't me.
Whoa. Only time Bryce has seen a hole and not busted.
It's trying to get. Never mind. Listen, we are here to do a draft 48. Jackery, break down what this draft is that we are doing, because it's not any ordinary draft. We had to Survivor News it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's whatever Bryce, we wanted to do a little preseason coverage. Everyone loves to do those preseason drafts, preseason power ranking.
or we or Jack, okay? Because let me just tell y'all, Jack been itching.
I mean,
Okay, every week in the chat. Hey Wendell, are you available next week? You want to jump on the pod? Wendell's like Jack.
sorry, I want to hang out with my guys and talk Survivor.
But
Assuming.
when you started the chat though, Jack, the cast wasn't even out.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't even have nobody to do a draft on, Jack. But I mean, listen, I love your excitement.
Yeah, I mean, I've been talking about doing some off-season coverage since Survivor Borneo, so we're finally here. Yeah, very excited. But this one we're doing a little bit differently. And Bryce, I got to give him all the credit here. We customized it a little bit with our predictions to match, some of the history of this podcast. So today we're going to be predicting or drafting.
Felt like that was a shot, but go ahead.
We're going to be drafting, predicting, whatever you want to call it, 2 potential third boots this season, 2 potential first merge boots this season, and then we're picking our 1 winner pick to rock with for the duration of this season. So, if you guys
wait. Okay, well, listen. Now, wait a minute, because I got to get my lick back. Is we doing a snake pick?
No. So this one, you can. In this one, you could have the same picks as other people. So we're just going, like, it's not. You're not building a team here. You're just kind of predicting what's going to happen. So, Bryce, we might pick the same people for our third boot prediction.
We can still go in a snake order.
If you want to snake it, we can do a snake draft. But,
do you want to be in a particular location?
I'm happy to go. I'm happy to be second, Bryce. If you want to be on one of the ends of the snake.
You want to be in the middle of the snake, Jack? What is going on?
But we could go in whatever order you imagine, Jack. But before we get to our picks, let's just take a little look. Our first look is out of Cast 48. So if you haven't already taken a look at our first look with Wendell, myself, James, and Tevin, you can go back and watch that. But we do have this cast of season 48. We do have the Green Tribe.
Bula.
We do have Laga.
Lagi.
The Purple Tribe. And we also have the Orange Tribe. I do want to know your thoughts on the tribes, Jack, because I feel like, and I said this in our first look, I feel like the tribes look somewhat equally matched up. What do you say?
I do. You mind go back to that Green Tribe for me real quick, too? And then can you take it back to the Orange Tribe for me? Sorry. I do think this Orange Tribe is looking strong. I mean, David, he said in some of his interviews, some of the Jonathan Young comparisons, he's a big guy. He's going to be a workhorse.
He's tiny, though, right?
He's not that tiny because I think he's standing next to Kyle, and I have met Kyle before. And I want to say Kyle's like your height, Wendell, so they're not like small.
Okay. All right, because Kyle's also kind of next to Mitch. I don't know. All right.
Mitch is standing on his tippy toe.
David's probably 6 foot, I feel like. Maybe 5'11". But
if David is 6 foot, how much you think he weigh, Jack?
I'm gonna say 230.
What you think his shoe size is?
Okay.
I'm gonna say 11 and a half.
Okay, David. All right.
Anyways, but Kyle looks like he's an athlete. Even Chrissy, older woman, she's in the fire department, so she's definitely, I think, going to be a lot more athletic than people might expect. So, and then I mean, Charity is a fitness trainer too, so this looks like a really strong group. But yeah, Bryce, I agree with you. I mean, there's some dogs on every tribe, so. And I, it takes me back to 46 where I was like, this purple tribe's gonna run the pre-merge. Lo and behold, that's not the case. So you never really know. But I definitely would say the tribe I'm most excited about, and I'm curious about this for you guys too. I think I'm rooting for the purple tribe out here. So
okay. We do love that. The purple tribe is a great tribe. They do have my Purging King on there. And they do have is that Ava? She looks like a beast. And they have Star. I think I might be with you, Jack. I think Purple Tribe might be the tribe that's going to be a problem to see in challenges.
I don't even know, but I just think they're gonna have a lot of fun characters too. So they could be a disaster, but I think it's gonna be a really fun time to watch them.
Yeah, this could be the purple tribe like your last purple tribe, Jack, or the 46 purple tribe, because they got the characters. I'm excited to see what Star is giving. But again, they look strong. And again, Eva is a beast. We talked about her in the first look. What she play, like hockey or something like that?
Yeah,
with the guy.
Men's hockey, captain of the men's hockey team out here at school, which is
I low-key want to see Eva smile because I wonder if she got any teeth missing.
She's smiling in the photo, Bryce.
Is she? Hold on.
Yes.
Let's see. Well, we can't see from here.
You got all the teeth.
I've seen a couple hockey players. Weird thing about hockey that I know, because my brothers played hockey when I was younger. Hockey players, they like for their equipment to be musty. Like they like that must smell. It is supposed to like rev them up for the game.
That sounds like you.
Maybe that's where I get my love of sense from. But that is a hockey thing. Eva can attest to it. We'll have to ask Eva.
Yeah, I have heard they like intentionally kind of leave their bags to like just get all musty.
Kind of like your dorm room a little bit, but
honestly, I was thinking it, so I'm not even gonna be. Times were tough back then. I do want to set the stage a little bit here before we get into our draft. I'm curious, like how much research, how much have you looked into all these players going into our picks? Is this like just off it's a look kind of thing? Is this I've listened to all the pregame interviews? I know all these people. I've stalked their social media pages. I know what they're all about. Where do you guys fall on this spectrum?
For me, I feel like I have had the opportunity of meeting some of them in person. And so I gauge like just what I see of them in person. I think also how they answer the questions is very telling. And if you've listened to my Issa Look with Robert, I have a keen eye for how people pose out there. Because again, Issa Look is a fine-tooth science. I have had the opportunity, Jack, to play Survivor before, and I know what it's like to be out there. And I feel like from my experience seeing Tony preseason and seeing his photo, like it matched. So I'm just going off of the vibe. I'm all about the vibes, some of their information that they've given, and I'm also going off of learning new information about the other people. That's really my biggest defining factor, because it's like I could love this one person, but then I am seeing and reading information about 3 other people in the tribe, and I'm like, Molly girl, you in danger. So I think that also plays into how they will do and kind of what my predictions are going to be.
Gotcha. What about you, Wendell?
I tried to erase. I've met a handful of them at places, out and about, and I try to erase all of that. I try to erase who was together or any of that from my mind, and I'm just looking at the cast, seeing some of their bios. Maybe I've seen Survivor post a little clip of them. I'm taking that kind of information. I guess I kind of gave them all a clean slate starting last week before our first look, and now I'm looking at that information because I don't want external factors to kind of push me in any type of way. I just want to be like a fan at this. So I didn't do deep dives into any of them. I saw the EW article. I skimmed through that, and that's about it.
Cool. And then I'll just say I'm similar. I went through the EW article just to get a sense a little bit about everybody. And then I've also listened to maybe 6 or 7 of the pregame interviews that Mike Bloom does out on the island that are each like 20 minutes. But there's a lot of people in this cast that I don't really know much about. But I guess a lot of my picks are probably more the people that I do maybe know more about just from listening to their interviews, whatever. Because obviously you can kind of go off vibe, you can go off feel, but I just want, I guess like, you know, I made the picks. I want to be a little bit more, have a little bit more information about the people that I picked.
Just not going off of like bias or anything, like getting a little more information.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know much of the cast either. Like I've maybe met a handful of them like once, but I feel like that I didn't really glean any intel on how they did. Like certain people in my mind that I've met, they could be the third boot, they could be the winner. I haven't really picked up on anything. So
okay, so, just straight bias we going off of.
Not at all. Not at all. Yeah, I think you'll be. I don't think my picks will be any bias. Well,
let's get to.
And I think you guys might be surprised at the people I'm really rooting for this season. You know, compared to history. Will we? I think so. I mean,
okay.
I mean, everyone in the cast is a millennial, so there's no young, young.
Wait. I'm a millennial. I'm on the younger side of the millennials. I'm still very young. Millennials
you're on the cusp.
I'm on the cusp of Gen Z and millennials. So okay, so
that wasn't. I'm just saying, you guys. I think you guys usually think my type is like a fellow Gen Z.
No, don't have to be Gen Z. Does have to be a fellow.
Wait, all the people that I historically root for around my age.
And if it was a cookie, it'd be a wafer.
What I'm saying is that's not the case this season. So.
Okay, we'll see. We will see, Jack.
But yeah,
okay.
So, I know I have a small proposal, but I know you also had a proposal before we get into it. So do you want to throw yours out, or do you want me to just?
Well, you already dismissed my proposal. My proposal was the snake, so we gonna do it.
No, we should do this. We should do the snake.
No, well, we don't need to do it. What's your proposal?
Yes, mine was going to be just to give us a little bit of to maintain the intensity of this, the outcome of it throughout the season. I want to implement maybe a little point system.
Wait, but also let's just be clear real quick because you just reminded me of something. Did you Venmo Wendell $40?
I did.
Immediately.
Did you?
Immediately. It took me reminding someone.
Bryce probably Venmoed him right before this podcast.
Wow.
It was like,
no,
I just got it. You heard my phone just ding. That was it.
I did Venmo him, but I did Venmo him after we were together, and he did say, "Oh, look, Jack paid me the money."
Why'd you ask me?
I wanted Bryce to know that you were a man of your word.
Yeah. Come on, thank you. So my little proposal was going to be, we're only making. It's really going to boil down to we're making 5 picks, but obviously only one of our third boot picks and one of our merge picks can come true because there's only going to be one. So I was going to say, if you get the third boot or the merge boot right, that's 2 points. Okay. And if you get the winner right, that's 3 points.
Okay. And so what are we playing for? $100?
No, we could do 40 again, 50 maybe. But,
so 50 and 50, 100.
Well, yeah, if we each do 50.
Now, a full-time job now,
there's a chance we all tie because honestly, to predict any of these exactly right is kind of tough. But someone might get one right, and that's then you win. So, but then obviously having that winner potential that could come in and sweep it at the end. So
A shot in the dark.
if you guys want a handshake on a $50 each for this, and we do that.
Okay.
But without further ado, I think we can get into it. I guess we don't have to do a snake draft because there's not much overlap. But Bryce, would you like to go first?
Okay.
What order do we want?
So we could go. We each give me, Jack, Wendell. We'll give our third boot pick. Then we'll same order. And then for the first merge boot, we'll go Wendell, Jack, me.
Oh, so kind of a snake, but with each different stage of the game. Okay, I like it, Bryce. I'm into it. Wait, so I don't get back-to-back picks?
No, you don't.
How does that work?
That's not how a snake works, apparently. Okay. So first of all, I want to just preference my first pick by saying that the third boot is a highly coveted, highly sought after honor. So I don't want nobody to be offended like, oh, why are you picking me? Because it's an honor to follow in the footsteps and the likes of Asia, myself, and countless other people. So I am going to go with my third boot. I am going to go with not the purple tribe.
Oh, the whole purple.
I am going to go with Kenny as the Kevin.
It's coveted, but you don't even know his name.
It's early in the season. But listen, I thoroughly like Kevin. I think Kevin has the potential to be a zaddy. However, I think Kevin is super nice. And I think when I was reading one of his things and he said that something in life that helped him prepare for Survivor was being the greeter at Abercrombie and Fitch, and him being friendly to people and so I kind of sort of felt like he was saying like, I'm relying on my good looks, and mind you, you can because you are attractive. I just worry that he might be a little friendly, and I think that it might not do well for him. So I'm a little nervous for Kevin. So Kevin is my third boot pick.
Wow, I'm surprised. I'm really high on Kevin, so I'm surprised, but fair enough.
Surprise.
Okay, Jack.
Yeah, so I'd like to preface. I just think this season it's a heavy millennial representation, and so nothing wrong with that. But I do looking at each of the tribes, I see sort of clusters of people that are kind of the same age or kind of have the same vibe, and so to me, this might be a season where being, a lot older, a lot younger could make things pretty difficult because I think it's going to be a lot of pretty homogenous groups age-wise. Not to make this the new millennials versus Gen X or whatever, but it kind of is giving me that vibe. And so, I'm worried for third boots. I think the older people might struggle. And so my first pick is going to be Cedric.
Ooh.
Now, of all my picks, I've done the least research on Cedric. He looks extremely friendly. I think I heard someone in pregame press talking about his friendly smile. But he also, just from a look standpoint, because I don't know much about him, he looks like he might be a little bit more shy, like a little bit more quiet. Someone that everybody likes, but someone who might not fit in with that core millennial group because he's a little bit older. And looking at the tribe that he's on, I just thought, the way the potential dynamics that I was just kind of predicting that he might not be in that core group. And he's not the most physical where he's like a need for the tribe in the challenges. So for that reason, I thought potentially Cedric might be a third boot candidate.
Not on Black History Month, Jack, as you coming out swinging for Cedric. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I agree with you here, right? Different reasons. Cedric is a surgeon, and I fear that with him being a little bit older and him being a surgeon, I feel like surgeons are used to taking orders when they're in the OR.
Giving
And I
orders, right?
giving orders.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No, I got you.
yeah, I was going to say something else, but they're used to giving orders and they're used to requesting things. And I feel like this could be him being older, him maybe with a younger tribe. I worry that he could be an early boot as well.
Yeah, that's a great point.
So,
jeez, I don't want him to be the third boot. I'm excited to see him out there, but there was a lot on his accomplishments and like getting through, becoming a surgeon and all that stuff in his the article. So I wonder, it's like, all right, are you leaning on all these like, what are you like outside? Like, what do you like interacting with these young people?
Clean slate too, where
yeah. But I believe he has kids, so I know he's able to relate to them. But is it more like get your homework done? Like, like I don't know.
Because Cedric's around 50, so his kids are probably like 10 to 20, not quite that age.
He has a son that's in college.
He has a son.
He's 45. He's 45. So he's only 1 year older than Bryce.
Yeah.
He's Wendell's age.
Bryce, can you pull up Cedric's tribe? I think he's on the green tribe.
Let's see. That's Star. So yeah, he's on the green tribe.
Yeah, so I just, not to get too in the weeds on but I just sort of looking at this tribe, I felt like I could see, gosh, I'm blanking on some of the names.
There's Sai, there's
I could see
Emily.
Like and Mary's, is it Mary in the middle?
Mary, yes, Mary.
Yeah. So I could see like Kevin, Mary, Sai, like all getting together. And I feel like everyone in this tribe except for Cedric is kind of the same age. So not that age is the most important things, but I could just see them clicking right away. And then Cedric being like a really friendly presence, but just not quite being in that same bracket where he's able to get in good with people, and he just might be a relatively easy option for them. Not because they don't like him, but just like, here's our group and Cedric's not in it. So
also in that same breath, though, go ahead, Wendell.
I was just gonna say, unless he's that leader on that tribe and like leads them in a challenge or whatever, and they're like, man, we need our leader.
But then in that same breath, it's like, he's a leader, we got to get rid of him. You never know which way they're going to go. But also looking at the green tribe, like Cedric does seem to physically fit in. So I also could see Cedric kind of like pulling his weight in the challenge.
Yeah. So I mean, this is all off just straight impression. Right. So anything could really happen. But yeah, and to your point, because Bryce, you made a great point about him being a surgeon. He might be a little bit more not like, he might want the control a little bit more. And I feel like stereotypically millennials, I feel like people always have a little bit of a grudge against the generation above them. And so that's why I worry for the older people in this, where if he's trying to be a little bit more in control, I looking at that tribe, I don't feel like that's a tribe that's going to want to be led by somebody that's older. So that's just sort of where that all came from. But not to harp on it too much, so I'll kick it over to Wendell for his first pick.
All right. For my first pick, I am going with Camilla. Okay. And the reason why, first of all, in the article that I kept on mentioning, one thing that I read was the question was, what's one life experience you feel has prepared you for the game? And she essentially said failing at everything. Failing every step of the way when starting my career, failed to get into the right college program, failed to transfer to the right program, failed to convert any of my internships into full-time jobs, failed to find a job. Just all these failures of hers. And I understand, because I failed many times, and how like certain failures propel you to do other things. Okay, Bryce, yes. And how certain failures like are part of your journey and stuff. But I don't want her to be so self-deprecating that she's almost like she's taking herself out of the game at the beginning of the game. I also saw, I think it was a survivor clip on their Instagram where she was like, I've never had an ab, and it just seems like there's a lot of I want a confident version of Camilla out there. I want her to be very confident out there, and I don't know if I necessarily see that. The second thing I'm going off of is, Bryce, if you could pull up their tribe. If we look at their tribe and we understand the rest of the people on their tribe, on her tribe, to me it looks like you have these people that are all very strong, very strong-willed, and sure of themselves. Like literally everyone on the tribe. So when I'm thinking of one person that doesn't match with this tribe per se, I would say maybe a Camilla. And sadly, but like Mitch is a runner. You got Charity. She lost 100 pounds. She's super fit. You have Chrissy, she's like South Side of Chicago. She's like a fire captain. You have David, who's, a beast. You have Kyle, who's like an attorney and fit. You have all these people that seem so sure of themselves. So I think she seems like an automatic, almost like an outcast type player.
I could see that. I also could see, Mitch has opened up about his struggle with stuttering. And so I think that might be a level that he can connect with Camilla. Chrissy is in the fire department. And so she's that group type of person. She is on the older side of the tribe. So I think she could scoop her up. So I don't necessarily see that, but I definitely, the self-deprecating, I think makes me think of like Darwin from your season, right? So I don't know, but it seems like she has a fun personality, so I'm definitely rooting for her.
Yeah, no, Wendell, I hear you on this because like you said, failing in life is a great way to learn and to set yourself up for future success. But I feel like Survivor is a one of a kind sort of thing where if you go in, it's always going to be like your first time. Like it's hard to play like it's your second time, and so if you fail a lot your first time doing stuff, then Survivor's probably going to be something else that's going to be hard. And like you said, you got to have confidence in yourself in manifest going far and seeing yourself, sort of being that winner. And if she doesn't quite have that confidence in herself, then it could be tough. And also, like you said, looking at that tribe, I feel like David and Kyle going to be competitors. Charity lost 100 pounds. She's a fitness instructor. Listening to her in an interview, she's like, no excuses, no BS type of attitude. Same with Chrissy, I feel like she's no bullshit. So I feel like if Carmela is out there and a challenge doesn't go her way and she's like, oh, this just wasn't my strength, I feel like that's not going to be it. A lot of other tribes might be like, no, you got this. Like, keep your head up. I feel like this tribe might be like, if you're not able to lock in, then you're out. So I think that's a great call.
I mean, it also brings me back to Survivor season 45, Jam Jam season. On one of the first challenges.
What season was Jam Jam season?
Survivor 44. One of the first challenges where they had to move the blocks, and Brendan Cottom was drained, and he was a physical beast. So I know we are looking at some of these people like, oh, they're big in fitness, but wait till you get out there in that Fiji humidity, that sweat. So I mean, I know we are going off of what we see, but I'm just saying we never know. But I mean, I feel y'all.
Sometimes it's just optics too, which isn't necessarily right. But you look at a Brandon Cottom, even if he struggles in a challenge, you're still like, well, he's a former NFL defensive end. Like he's gonna pull his weight, even if he's like same with Q. Like Q didn't always do well in challenges, but you look at Q, you're like, that's an athlete. We need him around. It's not necessarily right. But
did Jason Kelsey pull his weight in the Super Bowl?
You mean Travis?
He's a big guy.
Yeah, I mean, not in the Super Bowl, but they're going to keep him around, because he's Travis Kelsey.
All right, I'll just asking questions. Fly equals fly. All right, so let me go to my third boot pick.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I've got Kyle.
Ripping.
Whoa,
you are end the podcast, man.
Listen,
are.
I like Kyle. I'm rooting for Kyle. However, Kyle had me at he wants to play like a Caleb. And that's a pretty much perfect politician game. Like, come hug and kiss my baby, right? Like, I feel like Kyle is just so likable, so perfect, so amazing. I am worried that him again. I'm going for the nice guys going out early because I'm worried in this new era that you gotta I don't know. I just feel like I think of Emily's, I think of Venus's, like these people that don't necessarily maybe not gel right away, but they last long. I'm just worried for Kyle because he is so nice. He seems so perfect. He seems so genuine that could just be a reason for a third boot. And let's be clear, a third boot is an honor and a privilege. So I am bestowing upon
Nope.
Kyle the third boot privilege.
Hey Jack, we might as well just break down this money, but between the two of us, we'll just
Okay.
take his money because first of all, no, Kyle is when you're like that, you're gonna go.
When
but
you're like
gonna
what?
go
When
somewhere
you're like
around
what?
the road. Like a Caleb. They didn't kick him out first, second, third, but when you get around that merge and thereafter, it's a wrap for you.
This season has seen a Caleb, right? Prior to a Caleb, we hadn't seen a perfect, handsome, educated, smart black man. We've never, like, the closest we got was Jeremy. And so we've never seen that before. And so this cast has a Caleb on their mind. And I'm worried that when they see a Kyle, I feel like it will be fresh in their mind and they'll be like, oh no, we got to get him out.
Understood. Well, me and Jack are taking your money.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually had I didn't have Kyle or Kevin as any of my picks, but they were my other two people in contention as my winner picks. So those two were top 3 winner picks for me. I feel like the last stretch of seasons, it's been a really strong, really smart, but kind of under the radar woman that's emerged victorious. And I feel like now we might be getting to a point where players are going to go in, and that's the new threat is like a smart, strong woman. Like that's the new winner.
She been the threat. Okay.
It's
Where you
always
been
been
for
a
the last
threat.
100 years. Okay.
Always been a threat,
She
but it
been the
used to be
threat.
like,
They've been under attack.
I'm not okay. You're it's always been a great player, but in the past, like I feel like looking at like players out there would look at like someone really big and strong and athletic and be like, that's who we need to get out. Now I feel like it's going to be, oh, she's really sly and under the radar and social. That's the biggest threat to win. And so I think my sort of prediction is that we're going to have a bit of a reversal this season. And I really think it's going to be a athletic, social guy that's able to get to the end and win. Not necessarily like a big macho guy, but someone like a Kevin or like a Kyle where they're going to hold their own in challenges. They're going to be super social. And now because of this turning of the tides, I think they're going to be able to survive a little bit longer without as much of a target and get to the end. So that's sort of my general prediction. But I'm curious to see how those picks go. So should I go?
Can I piggyback off that? Yeah, I think the pendulum always swings, and right now we've seen an archetype of women in their 20s or whatever. We've seen a lot of these women winning, and I think people are going to be reactive to all of that and hyper aware and be like, all right, this is a kind of person that keeps winning this game or has been recently. So we're going to target these people.
Well, I mean, yeah, sure, the pendulum swings, but like, let's give the pendulum a chance to warm up. Y'all talking about 3 women winners in a row. We've had 67 men win, and now we had 4
Bryce,
women
we're not
winners.
saying what's up, like
and y'all talk about let's swing the pendulum back.
But Bryce, that's exactly the point. Is I think because of that, that's the reason that's helped a lot. Like a lot of women have become, because it's a change in the trends. So now if I'm going out there, obviously as a viewer, it's great to see the women thriving. But if I'm going out there, I'm not going to be like, as a guy, I'm not going to be like, let's get the women some more wins. Like I'm going to be like, who's the biggest threat to my $1 million? It's the Rachels, it's the Kenzies, it's the Dees. Yeah. So that's just sort of, I think, what's going to be on people's mind.
All I'm saying is let the pendulum cook a little.
Look, as a viewer, I'm down, but if I'm out there, I'm not going to be like, let's let's get the ladies another win. You know?
Well, Jack, we know your bias is strong, so I already know.
Right, I'm saying if you're out there, you're gonna be biased towards yourself. Like that's just is what it is.
Okay, now let's see who's your next third boot.
Okay, my other third boot is gonna be Chrissy.
Surprise, surprise. Okay, you targeting
Yeah,
the women.
My other one was a man.
You targeting the older crowd. You targeting Wendell.
Yeah, I am targeting the older crowd
demographic.
because for the same reason as I sort of mentioned with Cedric. I mean, Chrissy's the oldest player in this cast. I'm actually a Chrissy fan, so I did listen to her interview. Chrissy could be a part of my mom's, like, Chrissy could be one of my mom's siblings. I kid you not. My mom is the same age as Chrissy, both from the south side of Chicago.
They got a similar cut.
And you should see my mom's older sisters. Like they still live in the south side of Chicago. They got the same cut. They all kind of talk the same way as Chrissy. Like it is very, very similar. Like they're all grew up in like a tough sort of area. Like are tough people, very staunch in their morals and their beliefs. And so I love Chrissy because she kind of reminds me of my aunts. But I'm also like, if my aunts were to go play Survivor, they would be pre-merge boots almost for sure. And so I just think Chrissy's going to be awesome to watch, but I think she's going to be the type where she has her beliefs. She's not going to really be like as open to being malleable, especially when it's like 30-year-olds telling her what to do. So I think she's going to go out there, be pretty staunch in her ways, and just going to kind of stick out like a sore thumb potentially. So it's I guess to the other players. And so that's just
we got our first nickname, Jack, Aunt Chrissy.
Exactly, literally, but like it's both like same area in Chicago. It's like if like, my mom is one thing, but my mom's siblings that have been in Chicago their whole life, like it is so similar.
Jack, what would Aunt Chrissy bring to your Thanksgiving?
She'd probably bring like she'd probably bring some sort of like casserole.
Okay.
But you don't really know. You don't really know what's in it. Like it's like a green bean casserole, but then there's like some sort of like something else in there, and you're like, yeah, there's like raisins, or there's like some cinnamon sugar, or you're like, why is there?
I debated going back and forth, putting Chrissy as my winner pick.
Really? I mean, if you want to donate the money to me and want to just say so.
Oh my God, y'all. I just felt like Chrissy's strong. I feel like the older woman archetype in the newer season gets pretty far. I also feel like she has that leadership background. She says in one of her interviews that like she's used to switching new fire departments and having to kind of like get on board with getting in line with how they do things. So it's like, I don't think Chrissy is going to be that older person that sticks out. I feel like she's going to be a team player and a morale booster. And I think, so
I would like to be proven wrong because I'm definitely a Chrissy fan. And just one more thing to illustrate my point with as far as her being very similar to my aunts, I actually remember like around during 47 or whatever, I was talking to one of my aunts who watches Survivor, and she's like, one of my friends has a friend that's on the next season, and they were talking about Chrissy. So they literally like run in the same circles. So it's gonna be very funny. It's gonna be just like watching a member of the family almost out there.
So your aunt calls you to like catch up on the episodes?
Sometimes, yeah. And when I was in college, I would sometimes go over there and we'd have dinner and then watch the episodes together. So that was always a nice time.
How do those calls go? She calls you or you call her?
It's mutual.
Okay. And what does she call you? Jackie? Jackie? With like
Just
Jack?
Just Jack.
Okay.
She's very chill.
And she's like, hey, you seen that tribal council? Like what's one of your aunt's hot takes?
Let's see.
Has your aunt seen your buff collection?
Maybe one or two.
Has she gifted you one for your birthday?
No. They're fun to watch, but they're the classic like little bit older viewer where they're not gonna, they don't really know anyone's name from like the last season. They're just like, and if someone's good in the challenges, they're like, that's a great player right there. Like they've won 3 challenges, they should win the game. But
Okay.
shout out to Aunt Janet.
Come on, Aunt Janet. Shout out to Christine Dolan, a loyal member of the posse, happens to be Jack's mom. Okay, Wendeezy, who you got for your third pick? For your
My
second pick? Second pick for your
My
third boot.
third boot, second pick, is none other, and I'm sorry to say it, but I'm gonna have to go with Star Toomey.
Oh, wow.
That one's
Y'all
tough. It hurts to say because I want to see Star go far because Star seems like Star's gonna be one of those characters out there this season. But what scares me is Star says she's like hilarious and she will be one of these. There will be a lot of eyes on Star if you ask me, and she's gonna have people laughing and whatnot. And what I don't want is her to have people laughing to the point where she seems too comfortable and they're kind of like, all right, she is so almost like I'm getting Sabaya. Sabaya got so comfortable that she started grilling up the idol at Tribal Council and went home. And in the case with Star, I don't think she'll be that comfortable where she has all these advantages comfortable. I think it'll be more like, all right, I am talking to a lot of people. I got people joking. I got people laughing and whatever. They're agreeable. Some people might be annoyed or whatever, and she might be gone. So I'm scared for her in that regard. That's what I got.
I like Star. I worry that she could be othered for some of those similar reasons, but I really want Star to go far because I feel like I'm interested to see their personality and to see a player like Star. I don't feel like we get to see players that look like Star often, and so I am automatically like going in rooting for a Star. So I do worry that she could be an early boot, but regardless, I'll be your moon, Star.
Yeah, I'm very excited for Star. She looks like, I guess, she looks personality-wise like someone who this season that might jump off the page the most and be one of the most charismatic. And sometimes I think probably when you're out there, that person that immediately jumps off the page, their name is literally Star. That's going to be someone on your radar. So I have high hopes for Star, but I understand like that perspective.
Kind of like you have like a Tevin who is just so such a bright light of a human being, like someone that is just so talented at so many things and like they shine, and I think Star is going to be one of these people that in her own regard just like shines, and when you're that illuminated and you got so many eyes on you, I don't know, that can land you at Ponderosa.
Yeah,
but I can't wait to watch her.
Yeah. Well, let's switch gears and let's go into our first merge boots.
Bryce, it's called merge boot. It's the merge boot. It's the merge. Someone gets eliminated. They're the merge boot.
No, because they're not always the merge boot, because I feel like the merge boot is like when you make the jewelry and sometimes like you merge and then it's not really merge. You got to earn your way in. And so it's not always the merge boot. Would you not agree, Jack?
I think it's all semantics either way.
If you get voted out at the merge, you're the merge boot.
And you were the first person voted out at the merge, Wendell.
I was the only person voted out at the merge. So I was
the first person. So, Jack, on Winners at War, was someone else voted out after Wendell?
That's correct.
Okay, so then
I think the first merge boot is a little bit redundant, but at the same time, Bryce, I do understand your point because there's a lot of like, there is a second merge boot that is still in a way a merge boot. So it would either be, I guess, but you say the merge boot. That's always referring to the first person booted after the merge, but saying, hey, first merge boot. Let's make it extra clear for the audio listeners.
Thank you. Right.
Hey Bryce,
Yeah.
I don't even think that you can opine on merge anything because you don't know what a merge is. Because you
Quite
haven't
all
seen
right.
it.
Quite all right. Quite all right. You're right. I haven't
Don't
seen
forget
it
about
at
South
all.
Africa.
Okay, I almost won it, even after my closest ally turned on me.
Hey, at least I made the merge.
Okay. Okay, so first merge boots, Wendeezy. You know a lot about this, so let's give us your first prediction.
My first prediction. So now, if we are picking 2 merge boots, I will have a first merge boot.
Oh, will
But
you?
you don't have 2 merge boots in Survivor.
You never
So
know.
my
Thank you, Jack.
first, damn it,
We could
my
turn back.
first.
If I could turn back time.
All right, Bryce, pull up my first merge boot. My first merge boot is gonna have to be David. Okay,
Mm,
David.
mm.
Let's get around the merge, and a lot of people come together. Eyes go sometimes towards May I finish before
Where they
you?
go?
May I finish before you drool over David?
Before he
Eyes go
finishes.
eyes go towards a few things. It could be like, it
Depending
could
if you
be
wearing sweatpants, depending on your shoe size,
right.
depending on your hand.
May I?
What?
It could be towards big threats.
Abs. Oh,
It could be towards
triceps,
eyes go towards big threats and certain
glutes.
stars. Whether they're strong, Bryce, okay, whether they're handsome, whether they're super smart, whether they're super
How your eyes go to super smart?
whether they're super
Please show me how. Well, actually, you know what?
eyes
Let me show
go
you how.
to-
Let me show you how my eyes go to super smart. Okay, if y'all are seeing my eyes, this is how my
Or-
eyes will go to super smart. Okay.
Oh, thanks. I thought you were gonna. I thought you were gonna like just look
'Cause,
that
like,
look below the belt or something.
no.
they'll go to certain they'll go to super social people. They look for some a standout person or somebody on one of these larger tribes that made it through. Now all of a sudden the 2 smaller tribes can gun for this one tribe and pick them off. So in this case, I think David will have a lot of eyes on him and he could be a merge boot. Sadly.
I think
Sorry, Bryce.
David might be big, but I feel
Whoa.
like David is like a teddy bear. And I feel like David is going to win people over, and I think people are going to look past those big old muscles. And yeah, okay.
I'll just piggyback right off of that. And you could bring up that one of my picks was also David. For a lot of the reasons Wendell listed, you know, a lot of times you get to that merge, it's those people that just, you know, draw your eyes, obvious physical threat, someone that could just go on a run, which, you know, makes people nervous. And then also like a couple things that I noticed from David's interview. He admits he hasn't seen a lot of Survivor. He just sort of applied for the challenge himself. So obviously he's going to be a great asset in the pre-merge, but I'm worried when he gets to the merge, he's not going to be an asset to his tribe because the tribes are no more, and he might not have the Survivor, you know, knowledge to be able to maneuver out of that tricky position that is, you know, his physical presence. I also think that he admitted himself in his interviews that he can oftentimes be a little bit cocky, and so I think that's a huge factor coming. Like we can kind of all agree he'll probably get through the pre-merge, but as soon as things get to the merge, if he's a little bit cocky, he's doing a little bit too much, a little bit too physical, and doesn't quite have that Survivor, you know, gamesmanship that you can kind of evolve from watching a ton of Survivor, then I think that he could be in trouble for sure. So
I also think sometimes not knowing a lot of Survivor can be a good thing, right? Like, you know, fresh eyes, since everybody gonna be looking somewhere, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it could work for David.
Stop making
and also,
excuses for David. Stop it. He ain't,
I'm
he
not
ain't,
making
he
any.
ain't the teddy bear that you say. No, he's a stunt performer. He's going to be real talented at a bunch of stuff. He's going to go out there and be really good at these challenges. He's going to be really good at individual immunity challenges. There's going to be a lot of eyes on him.
There have been plenty of people that have looked the part but have failed miserably. And so, like, all I'm saying is, ain't nobody expect Kyle to go on that immunity run. Y'all wasn't saying all this about Kyle. So there are other people that can emerge as these people that, like David, could stay around.
But Bryce,
So,
you're right about that. But the thing is, it's always like perception. So
yeah,
David
but
might
by the
not
time we
be
get
the
to the
best.
merge, we gonna know
David
that
might
David a
not
teddy
be the
bear.
best challenge performer, but he's going to look like the best challenge performer.
He
Especially
could also,
these pre-merge challenges are very based on strength, whereas obviously at the merge that kind of switches. But I think pre-merge, not only is he just a beast, but also as a stunt performer and as someone who is self-proclaimed a little bit cocky, I bet he's going to go a little bit above and beyond in some of these challenges. Like I could see him, instead of just jumping into the water, he does a flip into the water. Or instead of like
everybody does flip into the water.
Score.
I just mean like during the challenge, just kind of like literally just flexing on people where his tribe's going to love him because he's going to carry them to wins. But then as soon as the merge comes, everyone else can be like, yo, he's going way too hard. Like
It might
He
not,
gonna pull a Hunter and do like a back. He gonna hold himself backwards upside down.
Yeah, I think he's going to be just like, just showing off a little bit.
Some people, they might call it the Gulf of America, but it's still the Gulf of Mexico. But the Gulf of Bryce, I'm about to get there. I'm just saying, if David want to showboat and be cocky, the Gulf of Bryce, he could do a backflip in. But okay. So let me go to my first merge boot. And obviously it's not gonna be anything like y'all's because y'all clearly are working together. My first merge boot.
It's gonna be someone who's not even on the season.
I'm going for my first merge boot. I'm going for Mitch. I am predicting that Mitch is going to be a chaotic villain. Like I want Mitch to go out there and to like hearing Mitch's story and him having to always overcome and always having to, feel like he has to work 20 times harder just to be quote unquote with everyone else, right? I want this to be Mitch's villain era. I want Mitch to hit the beach and feel like ain't nothing holding me back. And so I am putting Mitch as my first merge boot because I want the first part of this season to be the Mitch show. And I want Mitch to go out there and be a mess, causing drama and being the life of the show. And then I just feel like if he does that and he gets to the merge, I feel like they all might be like, we got to get rid of Mitch. So I am putting Mitch as my first merge boot.
Could you see him like Rome?
I could see it a little bit. And I love that for Mitch. Again, I am ready for Mitch to step into his villain era. Like, you only get to play Survivor once, right? And it's like balls to the wall and go out there, play the game. Like, I feel like Mitch has been all his life trying to, like, be the best that he could be. Now it's like, Mitch, be bad, be bold.
Yeah.
And I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I'm really curious about Mitch. I mean, he's the first person to play Survivor who has a stutter, and he seems extremely sweet. But I'm also in the game of Survivor. Like, I'm nervous for him because, of course, communication is of the utmost importance, and when it's inhibited, through no fault of your own, that could be, not everybody might be receptive to that. So I'm nervous. And then to your point, Bryce, I could see, maybe one person out there isn't really clicking with him, and then he does seem like the type where he'd be like, "Oh, I gotta go figure this out for myself." He run around looking for idols, going crazy, and able to survive early. But like you said, I can see him going a little haywire when it gets to the merge, kind of like a Rome. That people are like, "All right, Mitch has just been going hard. Like, we gotta get Mitch out."
Yeah.
I can see
but
that.
Nevertheless, I'm excited to see whatever they give of Mitch because I already know I'm going to love me some Mitch. Okay, Wendeezy, your second first merge boots.
Now you're getting crazy with your terminology. Now you have taken it to a whole. Now I have a second first merge boot.
I mean, we are doing a draft.
I mean, if you just said second merge boot, then it would be a different thing, Wendell. So,
thank you, Jack. Thank you, Jack.
Right, I actually have to rock with you on this one.
Thank you.
No, this is my second merge boot pick.
First merge.
So the person that goes out second after the merge, or the second?
No, it's my second.
No.
It's my second merge boot pick.
I'm confused now.
Right, now you're confusing us. Thank you. You gotta add the first.
I'll make it very clear for you both. We're only picking merge boots. Okay?
No.
We get to pick 2 merge boots today.
No.
So
no.
I'm picking my second merge boot pick.
$50 is for the first merge, but go ahead. Pop off, sis.
Okay, my second merge boot pick, and I hate to say it. Bryce, bring up the graphic. The one and only Kyle Freeman.
Where's the out?
As much as I want Kyle to win the game, I am rooting for him. I see a lot of similarities between him and other winners. And what I want to say is, I think we're gonna have some of the Caleb effect with Kyle in that he is a social, happy, smiley. I'm scared that he might be too social, just like a Caleb. And I think that when you are everybody's friend in the game of Survivor, or when you are making everyone smile or everyone happy, you got a lot of eyes on you. And I think I'm scared for a Kyle around the merge, particularly as the merge boot.
So, Jack, where's your outrage? Because I essentially said the same thing, and you and Wendell was up in arms.
Well, the third boot versus the merge boot are extremely different positions.
They're not. They're
They
not.
Right? We are totally different, you and I.
Because I'm trying to figure out, BWP is on his 8th tour, okay? I was the third boot. Wendell was the first merge boot. I'm the main attraction, okay? So I don't really see much of a difference.
Well, I think in this instance, too, a lot of it boils down to how his physicality, Kyle's physicality, is going to factor in. And, you know, when you're a couple of votes into Survivor, having an athlete like Kyle, very valuable.
I said he's an athlete.
When you're at the merge, it becomes a detriment. So it completely flips on its head.
Thank you, Jack, because some of us just aren't using our brains today.
No, I'm just, it's feeling, never mind. It's feeling like a gangbang.
Whoa!
It's feeling like.
Do you have experience in this department, Bryce? What are you saying right now? We don't need.
Don't ask him that question. You don't want to know the answer.
I do want to ask you this question, Wendell. Do you know who Brian Pumper is?
Brian Pumper.
I think you do.
Yeah, he was a movie star. He was a movie star back in the day.
If any of the posse is listening and y'all know who Brian Pumper is, please.
I bet I can guess what movie you're talking about.
Oh, y'all some freaks. Posse, don't egg him on.
Oh, okay.
You say y'all. Wendell, you're the one who knows Brian Pumper.
Okay.
I think he's a rap artist.
Should we do some Brian Pumper karaoke?
Push it. Push it real good. Push it.
Okay.
Push
Bryce,
it real
how do you
good.
know? How do you know who this is?
Push it real good. Push it. Push it real
Push
good.
it good.
Okay, Jack, name the artist.
I don't know. Brian Pumper.
Salt and pepper, push it. I have older brothers.
No,
That's
I do know that song. I do know that song, but
Jack, okay. But I do have older brothers,
You were in
and
college when it came out.
I do have older brothers, and I used to come home and want to watch Aladdin, and I would think that I left Aladdin in the VCR, and that's how I discovered Brian Pumper.
Oh, y'all some freaks.
You're working with a different magic carpet.
Y'all some freaks.
Okay. All right.
You got the wrong live Jasmine.
Y'all.
Is that a saxophone he's playing?
I lost connection. Wait, what happened? What happened?
This is not the Philadelphia Orchestra.
Wait, did I like make a noise? Or is
Oh,
that one of you guys?
That was Brian Pumper's saxophone.
y'all are disgusting. Y'all are disgusting.
Wait, what? Did someone rip?
Oh, have I missed Survivor News? Okay, because I don't know how the hell we is on Survivor News Draft 48 and Brian Pumper is in the topic. Okay.
That's bad. That's bad.
Is he a Castaway?
What if he showed up on season 48?
He definitely was on season 39. But
Okay, is it my pick?
well, yeah.
Okay, all right. My next pick, try to get back on track, is gonna be Justin. Pull him up. So
You mean Belinsky?
Belinsky. Belinsky. So Justin kind of gives me like Gabe vibes, where I think on his pre-merge tribe, I think Justin's going to be a solid strategic player. Maybe not the most social, but social enough and strategic enough where in a small tribe, he can lock down a group and really rock with them. And I also think he's going to be physical enough where he's not really going to be looked at too much pre-merge, get to the merge. At the merge, I'm a little nervous where I think he's going to be seen as having his crew, but not quite extroverted enough to go make those connections with a lot of other people. And so I think people from the other tribes are going to look at him and be like, he's locked in with his people, but I haven't really talked to him a whole lot. So it's an easy vote this is not like an easy vote to take out someone from a alliance that, might be considered a leader. So it's hard to get a little bit of a read on Justin, but I feel like it does look a little bit sly, a little bit strategic. And so I think like I said, he's going to be able to lock down a group early, but when other people that don't really know him have a chance to take a shot, I think he's going to be high on their target list.
Oh, wow.
Do you get gay vibes from him?
A little bit. That's just a sheer guess, just based on the limited info I have. But that's just sort of how he seems a little bit quieter, a little bit more cunning. Where I think in a small group, when you only have to manage about 4 or 5 personalities, you can lock in with a few people. But when there's 13 people on the beach, I don't think he's going to be able to connect with everybody. So.
I think that's a good pick, Jack.
Thank you.
I'm still a little taken back by it because I really like Belinsky.
What is it about him that you think he's going to go farther?
I can elaborate on that at a later time during the podcast.
Okay.
Oh, that's your winner.
So
Oh.
I am okay. So it's my turn. I'm just so for my second first merge boot, I am
Second merge boot.
first merge. My second pick at the first merge boot. I am gonna go with. Sorry. So yeah, I'm just still a little taken aback by Jack's pick because I don't know. I see a lot of great things in him. But
He's your winner pick. We know.
I didn't say that was my winner pick. I ain't know.
You said
Sounds
you
like
wanna
you'll elaborate in a bit, so I'll wait for that. But
Yeah. So yeah, okay. So my first merge pick, second merge pick is going to be.
That's your boy, Jack.
That's Brian Pumper.
Oh man. I
Okay.
can't be associated with this podcast anymore.
My my official second merge pick is
Bryce, I know it took you very long to find a clothed photo.
Oh wait.
oh,
I'm going with Joe Hunter. I really like Joe. I think Joe has a very compelling story. Hearing about his sister, he reminds me of the real winner of Ghost Island, Dominic Abate. He's a dad. He is a father. He looks physically fit, but I can't help but when I think of Dominic Abate, the only thing I can think of is like dominant, right? Like Dom can't help but be dominant, and I think that again, there's a lot of Gen Zers. Gen Zers. And I think that I'm worried how he'll fit in. I think that he has the potential to go very far, but I had to pick a first merge boot, and so I just wanted to go with Joe Hunter. I could feel like at the merge he'd be somebody that's physical and dominant, like you guys say, and target eyes will be on him. I think that he's going to be a dark horse where people aren't going to expect him to be so strong. I think when we were looking at some of the tribe photos, he's on the Purple Tribe. He got his shirt off, and I can't see a lot, but I could see he lifting something. Those breast muscles are defined.
yeah.
So again, I think outside of who y'all are saying is a physical threat, I think Joe will be a physical threat as well.
Agree. I think that's a really good pick. So
Thank you. Okay, now let's go. We are on to our winner pick. We only have one winner pick.
what
Jack,
order do we want to do this in?
you could go first, Jack.
Okay. All right, my winner pick. You can pull them up. You can pull them up.
Hold on, wait.
Bring them out. Bring them out. Bring them out. Bring them out.
Surprise, surprise.
It's the winner pick is going to be Thomas. I just feel like he's very charismatic, very social, but not afraid to be a little bit devious when he needs to be. I think he's going to connect really well. You know, like I keep saying it, but this is a very millennial-oriented season, and that's not a bad thing. But Thomas, I feel like, sort of epitomizes that. He's in LA. He works in the music industry. He's wearing a funky shirt. He said in his interview he loves his coffee. And if you could pull up the Purple Tribe too, that would be great. I think he's going to get along really well with Bianca, with Star, with Shaheen. So I think he's going to be really well positioned in this Loggy tribe. And I think at the merge, he's going to be that perfect balance of, okay, he's going to get along with a ton of different people, but at the same time, he's also, you know, not too big of a threat. And I think he's going to be able to get far. And then when it comes down to it, he's going to be able to make those correct strategic moves, cut the people he needs to cut, and then get himself at the end. And I think he's a really compelling speaker. So I think at the final tribal council, he's going to do a great job pitching his case. And I really just think anyone sitting on the jury from this cast, I think is going to like Thomas. And I think that's really going to help him secure the millions. So shout out.
I agree with you, Jack. I teeter-tottered with picking him. I think that he kind of fits along the line of what you guys were describing, the new winners in the new era. Unassuming, he's not physically threat. Even when I did my It's a Look with Rob, we see no thumbs. It's a very calm, cool pose that he's giving. It's almost like that Homer Simpson meme when they kind of disappear into the back. I get what you're saying. I'm not mad at him at all.
And I also think that, like you said, Thomas fits a lot of that new winner criteria, sort of like the male version of what we've seen in these recent female winners. But at the same time, we haven't really seen a potential winner like Thomas. And so I don't think that people that are out there are going to look at Thomas and be like, oh, that's a blank who's a real threat. And I think Thomas has all these qualities that are going to make him a great player, but he's not going to remind anybody of anyone that they're threatened by on paper, because we haven't really seen a Thomas type of winner. And so I think it's kind of the perfect storm for Thomas to put all those skills to use without having that target on his back, which is kind of the ideal situation to be in. So I have really high hopes for Thomas.
We've seen a Thomas winner and Tommy Sheehan, but in the new era, because
I don't think Thomas and Tommy Sheehan are very similar at all.
They just have a similar name. That's all.
Okay, I was talking to Jack though, but thanks.
Don't worry, I was giving my input, but you're welcome. Jack, I think you're right, bro. Get this man off of the screen. Jack, I thought we were sending in 2 winner picks because he was my second one, so I'm gonna ride with my first one. But Jack, Thomas is exactly as you describe him. He is the male version of this type of new winner that we're seeing. It's his time to win. He's going to win it. Now, is it my turn to pick my winner, though?
Sure.
Okay. My winner, I'm going with Bianca. Let's talk about her.
Yeah.
Now, Jack, you said how you have a connection to what? Your auntie's friend?
Yeah.
Oh, that was an accident.
Your aunt's friend. Now, let me tell you, I was hooping at Haverford College 2 weeks ago with my basketball buddies, and my man ZP, Zach Paul, pulls up on me. We've been hooping for over a decade together. And he's like, yo, Wen, my friend's fiance is on the next season of Survivor. I'm like, word? He's like, yeah, her name's Bianca. I'm like, oh, wow, because we met her at one point in D.C. She's cool, right? I'm not spoiled on anything, but I know who she is. She lives in Arlington, VA. She's from New Jersey. Can we talk about New Jersey Survivor alums?
Oh, Michelle, Natalie,
Tony. She is from where these winners come from, right? So that's first. Second of all, she describes herself as bold, friendly, and enthusiastic, and she's a PR consultant that has owned her own business. We talked about her on the cast assessment, where essentially we're like, she's like Olivia Pope. Now, if you take this Olivia Pope character who is from New Jersey where everybody wins and you put her on Survivor, I look at her as someone that is part of this wave of women winners. I could fit her right in with this line of women winners that we've seen. And so although we think the pendulum can swing, it might be a man, and Thomas is a similar male version of these types. Yeah. I think Bianca is a female version of what we've been seeing, and that's why I could see her going out there and winning the game. You don't look at this cast and say, she's the strongest, she's the this, she's the that, and that's what makes people so threatening in this game, in this era. So that's what I got for Bianca.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to agree with you, Wendeezy. I think very highly of Bianca, and yeah, I agree both with your winner picks. My winner pick, I had two. I will stick to my Stromboli, and I'm going with Justin. I feel like very similar to a lot of what you guys said. He, in my opinion, is very unassuming. He's got a similar pose to Thomas. However, him working at managing a pizzeria, that's a lot. Him going to Yale, he's super smart. I feel like he is dressed very casual. I feel like he is going to be fit. I think that he's going to be the full package. And it's like, have you ever been to a pizzeria when it's busy? They taking orders, you picking the pieces out the thing, you trying to like, what, you got a soda with that? Like, I just feel like he's going to be able to do a lot of different things, and he's smart. And he's got a Yale education. So for me, it just makes me think of a Carla and a Jesse type of player. However, he doesn't need to go in there boasting about his education. He could just say he works at a mom and pop shop. And so I just feel like he also is, again, very unassuming. He looks pretty petite. And so I think when people see him, they're not going to get physical threat from him. The silk press for me, he's got his hair straight back. Like, I get good things from Justin. So I am going to go strong in on my Stromboli King Justin.
Yeah. I mean, I think I could see everything you said coming to fruition. For me, that's sort of, I was a little split on Justin, where he does seem a little bit more introverted, but I think that could play off as either, you know, like I was saying, as an early first merge boot, where he's not connecting quite with everybody, or like you're sort of predicting that sort of quiet confidence could be seen as really grounded and trustworthy. And if he's able to make all those connections and stick to his roots and everything, then that could be a real threat to win as someone who's really smart and more grounded and just calm. He seems like a very calm guy. And so that's like, it just depends how it comes across in the game, I think.
Yeah, that's I'm excited to have eyes on him for this game because of what you said, Bryce. He has this education, but he can mask and say, hey, I've worked at he knows everything about a pizza shop. He doesn't have to say anything about his education. He just doesn't have to show people how smart he is. And so that's why I'm excited to see this guy.
Oh, he's gonna show them, but they're gonna be on the wrong side of the vote when they show them. So I'm excited. But there you have it. You have your Survivor News Draft 48. Tune in this Wednesday at 8 p.m. to watch as the season unfolds. We've got it's not $1 million. But we got $100 on the line from this draft. So I'm super excited. And you can tune in every week as your baby boys will be coming back and recapping Survivor News with you. We appreciate the posse, the Jack Shack. Also, you know, Bryce and Wynn, Tour 48. We are going on a 9-city tour. We'll be in New York this week as well, kicking off BWP 48. We are headed to San Francisco. We are headed to Nashville. We are headed to Chicago. We are headed to DC,
LA, baby.
LA.
Boston.
Philadelphia.
I'm going to be at
Boston.
some stops this season too, guys. So we got to figure out exactly how many, but if you're on the West Coast, come show some love. And I might be down in Austin, Texas, maybe too. And who else knows what's now that I have a job, I might be able to move around a little bit more. It's fully remote. So let's go.
We love it. Well, listen, thanks for listening to our drafts. Let us know in the comments what you think about our picks, and we will see you later on this week with our first episode of Survivor News, season 48. Thanks for listening. We'll see you soon.
Ooh, it's the Purple Pants Podcast. You better listen in public, might make your stomach hurt. Ooh, it's the Purple Pants Podcast. You're trying to unwind, you better get that box wine. It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You're trying to get your snack, you better hurry right back though. It's the Purple Pants. It's the Purple Pants.